Now we're recording. So good. I caught it just in time. So having said that, one more time, Ed, you've been here 4.5 months. Do you feel like telling us anything about but your experience so far? What you like, what you don't like, what you've enjoyed, what you've struggled with? Is there anything that stands out that you'd like to talk about?
Well, my experience has been absolutely incredible. I've never had so much success so quickly. And the reason for this is that I love being part of this movement. And first of all, I want to thank you for inventing this opportunity, the coin, the miners. It's freaking brilliant. It really is.
Thank you.
Um, but my sponsor Mitchell gave me a call and he goes, you know what, Ed? He says. I've been in this company a month. It's called TexitCoin. You ever hear about it? And I said, nah, I never heard about it. He said, well, I've been in it a month. It's paying me every day because there's so many rug pulls out there.
Yeah.
So I looked at it. I saw your video, especially the one in front of Congress. It was freaking awesome. And I said, Mitchell, this is great. I said, what are you talking about? I said, why'd you take so long to call me? So I I started sharing it, and I started out with one miner, and just put a lot of sweat equity into it. I really did. I have 31 miners now.
Yeah.
I've maxed out the comp plan almost every single week, except maybe the first week. I got my initial miner back because that was like I said, I just bought one, and it's
Yeah.
just been absolutely awesome every day. And I tell people, I said, I got to be honest with you guys, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. I said, we don't have to worry about people stopping their auto ship. You don't have to worry about, oh, I got a rash on my arm from this stuff. I mean, everybody wins.
I got a rash on my hand from pulling my wallet out and spending too much crypto.
Well, yeah, my thumb. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's funny.
No, I am so glad to be the part of this, and I share it all the time. I put about 39 people in directly myself now. My team is over 850, but people say, well, when you come in, how much money are you going to make? I said, it doesn't work that way. I said, it's a point system. I said, you got to take the time to learn this blue collar comp plan. That's what you got to learn.
I
And
was actually just going to ask you about that a minute ago because you said blue collar comp plan to me, I don't know, 4 or 5 months
it
ago, four
was,
months ago, I guess. And it
uh-huh.
really stood out because that's exactly what it is. It's a comp plan for everybody else, right? And I hear that all the time. I was in this deal, never made any money in this deal, in this deal, in this deal. This one, for some reason, works for me. And I don't know if I'm lucky or if third or eighth time's the charm or what, but you said it best when you said blue collar comp plan. And that's exactly what it is. It's a comp plan that's designed where anybody can do it and everybody can win. You either win
Absolutely.
when you're mining TexitCoin, or you win when you're building extra hash power for more TexitCoin, or you win when you're getting commission. It's something that anybody that wants to roll up their sleeves can do and be successful at. You don't have to wait 18 years to reach a high enough level where it actually matters. You can do it. You can do it quickly, and it works. And I love that about it. Question for you. How much do you know about the Texit Ranger program?
How much I know about it? I know it's a very prestigious position to be in. I take it with great honor and respect. Carl and Thomas and Mitchell and these guys are they're studs. They're like Navy SEALs of Texacoin. So
Well, they're Navy SEALs of the world of network marketing as well, which I really like. They're guys that know how to do something like this. They bring a lot of credibility and respect to our organization, which is a great honor for me.
mhm.
A lot of people have been asking lately about exactly what it is that you have to do in order to become a Texas Ranger, and the answer is we don't really know. We've got some ideas. We don't really have anything set in stone yet. We don't have a real specific set of metrics. And mostly that's because it's not a metric driven position. The title, we're kind of awarding that to people that we believe are good ambassadors of our brand. So not only are they successful with the comp plan and they're able to, give a pitch nicely, but they're also people that we respect, we look up to, and we like having around. And that's a really big thing because we do stuff together. We had a Ranger Roundup. That was our first event. I don't remember when that was. Then we had the Ranger Retreat a couple weeks ago in Hawaii. And now we're getting ready for some more stuff coming up very soon. And so, you got to be a likable person. You got to be somebody that we want to have around and having a good time with us. And I wanted to specifically invite you onto our call tonight, along with some of our other friends, because I'd like to formally award you with the title of Texit Ranger. I reach out to our community and I say, "Who's up next, guys? Who's really leading the way? Who's doing a great job? Who's crushing it? Who belongs up here with our leadership?" And they said, without a doubt, Ed Haas. And so I want
Wow.
to say thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our program.
I appreciate you, Bobby. Thank you so much, and thank you for the other Texas Rangers for nominating me. It really is an honor, and I carry it proudly.
Well, I hope that you've got some free time to share with us as well, because we've got more things coming up. In fact, we were just talking yesterday about our Thailand Singapore trip. Not sure if you like international travel, or if you've ever been over and visited the Orient, or if you'd ever want to go over and
No.
visit that side of the world. But Rangers, of course, are invited to join us at no cost for that event. There's nothing you have to do to qualify for it. We've got 2 weeks coming up in Thailand, the 16th to the 30th. That should be a pretty good time. And you are now on the list of people that we'd like to invite to join us out there for that adventure. But you're not the only one. You're not the only one. You just happen to be the guy that was on the call first tonight. In fact, I want to say hello out there to my friends Mike and Terry, because you guys are also, and you knew it was coming sooner or later because you guys have been crushing it, absolutely doing a great job, not just with growth, but with the tools and with the instructionals and the training videos and the Zoom calls and all this other stuff. This is what goes into, this Ranger title that we have. You're doing a great job. You see the opportunity to not just build your team, but help other people build their teams as well. And you're creating resources that people can use and share and replicate and duplicate, and that rising tide raises all of our ships. And it's absolutely incredible the job that Mike and Terry have done. I had the privilege of meeting both these guys in Las Vegas a couple months ago, or was it a month and a half ago? I don't know, some time ago, for the first time. And they're great guys. And same, like I said to you, that you said about Mitchell and Thomas, and Carl, just really, really great stand-up guys. And I want to invite you guys to jump in, say a few words. We were talking a moment ago about how long you've been around, what you enjoy about your TexitCoin experience, what you'd like to see maybe improve, what you think it is that we've got going here that's causing our program to be successful.
Go ahead, Terry.
I was just gonna say, go ahead, buddy. You're already on there. Go for it.
Um, Sorry if I sound like I have a cold. I do. I'm just overcoming a cold. I'm about half delirious from medication. But thank you so much for having us on here, and thank you for the invite to be a Texas Ranger. It's obviously an honor. I'm fairly new to this company. We've been
Yeah.
in, I think, 2 months, maybe just over 2 months, and
Is
uh,
that all it's been?
Maybe three.
I'm a newbie to this
I'm looking it
company.
up. I'm fact checking you on that one
Yeah,
there.
go ahead and look. It might be just over it. Okay, it might be really. Go ahead and look. It's like
Let's
at
see
the.
what I got here. Go ahead.
Go
Keep
ahead.
going.
Tell me how close I am to it. You can verify me. That's
Yep.
fine.
Yep. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going.
Okay,
Don't.
that's okay. So new to the company, and I basically have been dabbling in the crypto space for about 4 years, and with little success, decent success. I have a background in direct selling, networking, whatever you want to call it, for about 30 years, and this made sense when I saw, because Terry introduced me to it, and he was telling me about this new project and things like that. And to me, the main objective was I saw, after I started to understand by watching videos, Bobby, of what you'd put out about the mining and the potential for growth, what this token would potentially get to, the scalability, the community commerce of it, and so on. That really, really appealed to me first and foremost because I
Yep.
understood about crypto and where it was going in the financial system. But then, from a background of being in networking and the referral slash affiliate side, if you're going to put the money on the table, it's not like I don't want to take it, right? If I can refer people and you're going to reward us for that, as well as give us hash power to earn more tokens, I'm all in. So
Yeah.
to me, it's been fun. Um, if you're driving by, the way I'm trying to explain this to people is if you're driving by and you see Texit for the first time and you see a few things and you look at it, it looks on the outside like it might have a networking aspect to it, but it's completely different than anything I've ever done or seen. Like it's kind of funny to be making this kind of money this fast, to be honest, because I've worked years before and made fractions after years worth of work of
Yeah.
what's happened in 2 months. Like I was trying to tell somebody what I'd made already in the last 2 months and what I was residually making from just the miners, because I think I'm up to like over 40 miners now,
Yeah.
you know, on a daily basis, just at current market value. And it's almost embarrassing because you can't, some people just can't comprehend that, but it's a good thing. I mean, it's exciting to be here in this stage. It's kind of like all the time that we've put into things like this, the education, the process, and so on. It's kind of the perfect timing for this. And so, lastly, so Terry can talk, so I don't just monopolize here. Um, because I've also been in the industry, I've tried to put a lot of tools out to help people make things simple, educational, easy to understand, and so on. And it seems like that's been working. A lot of people giving me compliments on the tools I put out there, the
That's really
videos,
great stuff.
websites, funnels for free, all that stuff. So it's
And you
been
got to
amazing.
remember that a lot of the people that are in our community already are brand new to the world that you're so experienced with, and so it's really great to see, it done right, it done correctly, it done educationally, it done with respect and consideration, the way that you and Terry are doing it, and so that's really great for our community to see it done so well. It's not done the slimy way; it's done the professional way, and that's really good for us.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Terry, you're up, buddy.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks again, Bobby. I appreciate it. I mean, a little bit, part of me was wondering, what took you so long, but otherwise, we got this 2 months. I mean, no, we're happy to be here. It's great to see some other familiar faces. Tom, Greg, we know we've met you guys before, so that's awesome. I'm just loving Texit. It's great. I'm a serious crypto guy. I've been in and out of network and affiliate marketing. I have a bit of that love-hate relationship. I've had good experiences, made a lot of money, became a student, learned how to do it right. And I
Yeah.
think that's important. I think there's a right way and a wrong way. I know not everyone shares that sentiment, but
Yeah. I
but
sure did.
it's great. I mean, you come into Texas and like the money just came so easy. It's so fast. And my criteria for stepping into something is, would I tell someone if no one paid me? Like that's always my question. And immediately I felt like this is very easy. I can comfortably sleep at night. You hit all the goals, you keep your targets, you keep your word, you do what you said you're going to do. And that's been so refreshing. As we've been in other projects where good intentions are there, but the delays and the tech problems and that's
Well,
hard to
we've got
sleep
our
at
share
night.
of our own. We're not immune to that, but we
Right.
do have a good team that works on it and follows through, and we share information. All right, another bad week. Don't have it fixed yet. Still working on it. But we get things done much more quickly than I've seen in the past. So that's good.
Well, I love it because I feel like I'm never on the apology tour here. Everything works, everything's great, it's happening, it's moving, it's flowing, and so I'm loving the program. It's great. I feel great about it. I'm happy to recommend it to people. I could do it and sleep well at night, and that feels awesome. And
Yeah.
then I'm glad that there's an affiliate program, but I would have been telling people even if there wasn't. So it works out fantastic, and you've been so generous with everything. We had a great time in Vegas, so I just want to thank you once again for that. And but I don't
It's
want
my
to take up
pleasure.
too
I,
much
I
more time.
would I would argue that it is the affiliate program, and it's so funny because I'm not a network marketer. I've got no experience whatsoever in it, and I'm like the only guy in this thing that's okay with calling it network marketing. At the beginning, everyone's like, "Don't say MLM, just call it an affiliate program." And I'm like, "Look, it's kind of network marketing, right? It's not really." And
Not
even the
really,
network
but kind
marketers
of.
are coming in and like, "Hey, can we stop calling it network marketing now because that's kind of a dirty word?" I'm like, "Well, let's clean it up, man. Let's make it cool again. Let's identify the stigma and let's hit it head on, inoculate it, and show people that there's a right way to do it." You and Mike both touched on something that I want to just kind of point out and clarify: easy, fast money. I call the comp plan rapid rewards, and it's kind of called supernova a little bit as well, because it is rapid, it is fast, and it is rewarding, and it does compound the mining power, and that does pay out more TexitCoin, and it does result in cash payouts that happen every week, every Wednesday. I mean, just this past Wednesday, I paid out another $300,000 in TexitCoin and USDC, and so the money's there. It's big and it's fast and it's easy. It's not that hard. But I want to point out something that's really important, and that's the healthiness of the comp plan. I know that a lot of comp plans sometimes in organizations are built to pay out a lot in the beginning, and then they kind of either plan on contracting that quite a bit as time goes by, because they're overpaying on the front end to make it exciting and hopefully get people on board. And that's not what we have here. I mean, I studied that revenue and commission chart for a long time. I don't really look at it anymore because now it's kind of reliably exactly where we want it to be. But I watched that for a long time because I was worried that that number would get up to an unhealthy place where we couldn't actually afford to have this easy, fast money thing going. And it hasn't let us down, which has been really great. But I do want to just remind you and everyone else that it's a healthy plan. And we've got little things that we're going to start working into scheduled changes, not to cut down on the amount of money that we're paying out, but to affect the amount of free hash power that we're giving away. And the reason for that is because we've got 1 million seats on this rocket ship. We've now sold like 3.3 or 3.4% of those seats. And so as we talk about our financial goals and we talk about the cash flow and we talk about the budgets that we'll have as we move on to the next phase, which is promotion, we want to have as much of that cash as we can. And the more seats that we give away for free, the less seats we have to sell later. And so it seems ridiculous now at 3.3% that we would be like worried about giving away too many mining seats. But our goal today is to build the mine rapidly, pay the commissions out. And so, I think specifically about how when this first started, we were trying to come up with an incentive to get people to forego the cash commission and take the hash power upgrade. And now it's turned around the other way. Now we're looking to force people to take the cash so that we have more additional hash power that we can sell later. So it's, that's another indication to me that we've got a very healthy organization. We've got a healthy comp plan. We've got a healthy eye on our prize, on our goals, on our, the things we have to do to get there. And so, again, just to clarify, yeah, it's rapid. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's fast. Yeah, it's pretty easy. But it's also very healthy. And that's an amazing thing that I'm really proud that worked out as well as it did. Thanks, Terry. I appreciate the kind words. Mike, just so you know, it was April 14th when you jumped on board. So we're coming up on month 3, wrapping up month 3. So it has gone by in a blink. And Terry, you're right. It probably is a little overdue to have you guys step up to Ranger status. But it's really great to have you here. And again, I mean that a lot. It's a real honor for me to have such great leadership in our community, and you and Terry, you and Mike and Ed are certainly some of the great things that are making our program spectacular. But you're not the only ones. In fact, there's another guy out there that I was trying to get upgraded here to panelists sooner rather than later. But I couldn't find him. I was searching for Greg, and he's in there as Fort Knox. I should have known. To search for Knox. And he is another guy that I really take my hat off to, and I want to congratulate him and welcome into our Texit Ranger community as well. It's Mr. Greg Knox. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I'll never forget our friends calling me and saying, "Hey, I got some guys, Carl and this guy Greg, and they're talking about some big things that they want to do, but they want to meet you first. They want to stick their finger in the oil down there at the mine and see if this thing's actually real. Can you accommodate them?" No. I'm too busy. I'm not interested. I don't know who they are. I don't care who they are. The answer is no. They're really serious. Okay, fine. I'll give them 30 minutes. Well, 4 hours later, we had an opportunity to really dig into some deep understandings of our program. And I think I won over Greg and Carl and Dan, and they've been great members of the community ever since. And so of course today I'd like to thank Greg for putting up with me and for persevering. And I want to thank you for sticking around and becoming a Texit Ranger with us as well. Same question for you. What do you like? What do you not like? What is it that you think stands out well in our program that's made it successful so far?
Well, I don't think that. Can you hear me, Bob?
I got you loud and clear.
All right. I don't think there's anything I would change. The comp plan's phenomenal. 14 weeks, and I've maxed it 10 weeks of the 14. So, I mean, it's just, and it hasn't been that hard. You put one person on the right and one person on the left, and when you got a Coach Bud and you got a Dan and a couple of others, I do have my right side fell off a little bit because there's a couple of leaders I put in, and they just haven't done anything yet. Who knows whether they will or not? So,
Right.
But I did notice June 1st, I had 200 people. And then July 1st, I had 400 people.
Wow.
So I'm like, this thing is really, really, really taking off. But from your meeting, the first meeting when I went down there, I was like you. I wasn't all in. I hadn't done anything in a long time. And Carl and Thomas had done things along the way. And I was working my traditional job. And I was like, I got to see it. I got to see it. I want to do it, And then I think when you called Joby is kind of when it kind of opened up a little bit for us. If you remember, and you had him on FaceTime, looked like he was laying down or whatever. And he said that he knew us. I think that was when you opened up to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Might be right.
So anyway, but from that time on, I mean, it's just been phenomenal. I don't know what I would change. Every week I figure out where I'm going to go. I just decided to go to the Red Pill deal tomorrow in Tulsa, and I've got a free flight on Southwest in the morning.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go help with Mike Smith, who you met. We had our picture with him 4th of July.
Yeah,
he's got a booth, and so I'm going to be in his booth. And Jeff Dameron, which is one of my leaders under Dwight Frazier from East Tennessee, he's going to be there. So they've been trying to get me to come, and I was thinking, I really want to and never have. So doing that tomorrow, but I like the spontaneous things that I can do when I want to do. There's always something going on, and I keep pinching myself. It's just with Thomas and Carl, and I could really tell you some stories on Carl, but I don't want. We won't get into that right now, but. Dan is usually my first call. He's a sponsoring animal. I've got 42 minors on my top spot. And it's just crazy how quick this thing goes and grows. And I'm amazed. And what you've done is just nobody else has done it. I mean, they're just I've seen there's been so many come and go in the crypto world, and I do not like the MLM, and I do not mention the MLM word like you said. It's crowdfunding, it's affiliate, it's whatever. It's anything but MLM. So,
I love it, man. I
know you do.
I've never done it before. I would have never. I've tried a couple times. I got to be honest. It's not the first time that I've been extremely curious about it. I mean,
right.
I was involved with a friend that was doing a water ionizer thing back in the early days. That I destroyed that. He paid my buddy paid me as a consultant to come in and help him get it started. Right. And I said, all right, but if I'm going to be involved, we got to do it my way. Rule number one, no auto ship. I'm not doing it. Right.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. And I didn't understand back then that auto ship is like the golden handcuffs that keeps people involved, keeps people engaged.
Right.
And without it, it changes the dynamic a lot. And so I got rid of that. I can't remember what else I did, but I killed it, and I just destroyed it. It wasn't going to work without those things.
I sold a 5-pack to one of the guys that I do some work with, and he just got his coin yesterday, and he called me. He said, "So you didn't tell me this is a Ponzi scheme?" I said, "It's not. It's crowdfunding." He said, "This brochure, I mean, it looks like one of them pyramid deals."
Yeah.
I said it's not, but anyway, he was okay, but he did say those were the exact words.
We've had some other people that do have the same reaction when you call them up. And they're like, "Hey, we need your USDC address to send your commission." What commission? What do you mean commission? Commission for what? What did I get myself into? Well, you referred your family members, and somebody else built out your other side, and voila, you got commission coming your way. Wait a minute, this isn't like one of those MLMs, is it? Why not? Why can't it be? Why can't we do it a really great way? So, I've tried, man. And I think the thing that makes this thing incredibly different from all those other experiences is that our product is money. Our product is something that you really can't have too much of. You can have too much shampoo, and you can have too much energy drinks and you can have too much like water filters and all that stuff. But like no one's really sitting around complaining saying I got really too much money. The other thing that I really like about this, and this was actually my agenda for tonight's call, besides congratulating my fine 1, 2, 3, 4 new Texit Rangers, was just talking about the basic elements of this thing that are making it great. And, you know, going down that money path, it's like the guys that have the most of it are the guys that have done the most to help us grow. And that's a really interesting thing because one of the big objections and complaints that we get or, you know, accusations is the rug pull, you know, like, well, the guys that got in early are going to be the ones that dump and crash it. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The guys that got in early, the guys that have the most TexitCoin, the guys that have the most mining seats, these are the guys that have done the most to build it and have the least amount of incentive to kill it. It's
Exactly.
like, why would we want to do that now when we've worked so hard to get here?
Right.
And so that's a cool element as well.
Well, I appreciate all you've done. I mean, it was great, you know, at the party the other night, seeing a few people, and you kind of did the overkill on the fireworks. I mean, I've never seen. I don't think Nashville had that many fireworks.
Well, I'm trying to warm you guys up to crypto rich. I know some of you have seen it. I know some of you have seen it firsthand through some crypto endeavors that went on, you know, back in 2016, 2017, 2018. I know that I watched it from the sidelines of Bit Club Network with our friend Joby. And it's funny you mentioned Joby because my daughter and Trey were actually out there today saying hello to Joby in Miami. And and then my daughter sends me a text and goes, the cops are on their way. We're going to leave now because apparently Joby's not allowed to have any visitors. I'm like, you're not there to visit Joby. You're there to visit the new baby. Anyway, so they ran and they were hiding out in the tennis courts and everything I think is fine. No worry about him going back to jail. But it's always something with our friend Joby.
It is. It is. Yeah.
It's an adventure and a lifetime of adventure for that guy. But he showed me Crypto Rich. And, you know, he's the guy that I sold my first gold order to for a Bitcoin sale. Like I'd never, like I'd made the original Bitcoin coin, but I'd never gotten involved with it. And when he bought 100 grand or something worth of gold coins in 2017, that was my first Bitcoin transaction. And you want to know what's great about that first Bitcoin transaction? It never arrived. I never got it.
Wow.
He sends it to me. Here's the transaction hash. What's a hash? What's that? I don't even know. And I'm waiting and I'm waiting. 24 hours later, it canceled out. It never arrived. I'm like, what is it? What kind of money system is this? This thing's ridiculous. This was like October 2017, maybe like September, October 2017, and it never showed up. You know, when you send a transaction out there in crypto, you're not like updating the database and moving the balance from, you know, ledger 1 to ledger 2. You're making an announcement to the community, and then you're waiting for the miners to come along and grab the transactions out of the memory pool and crunch them into a block. Technical stuff, confusing for sure. But the point is that like the more you're willing to pay for a transaction fee, the more likely your transaction is going to be getting scooped up and put into the next block. And back then, you know, Bitcoin transaction fees were wild, $50, $60, $70 to send $5 to somebody. And it took, you know, 24 hours and then it canceled out. Said, okay, well, this isn't going to work. And it's, you know, more reliable today, but they wouldn't change the block size. They didn't want to speed it up because the miners were getting rich off of those fees. And so they're still struggling with that same thing today. But now today, Bitcoin is digital gold, of course. So people aren't really using it like money. But I saw Crypto Rich back then. I saw it when I went to visit him in Bit Club Network in Korea. I saw it when we connected in Lithuania and we were in hot air balloons floating over the Alpine forest, you know, right after we had enjoyed caviar and champagne and all that stuff. And I said, man, this is wild. And, you know, again, I'm trying to warm our community up to Crypto Rich because sometimes, you know, obscene amounts of wealth coming in too fast can really, you know, hurt you, can become its own kind of problem. And so as we work for this and as we put in the sweat equity, we develop a sense of ownership of the results that we get. I try to explain that to my daughter all the time. I'm like, look, you can either be like the rich heiress to TexitCoin, or you can like get out there and help build it. And of course, she got on a plane and went to Miami and you know, is helping build it. because that gives her the sense of ownership and that sense of pride to call it her own, to call those results something that she created by herself. And so Crypto Rich is coming our way. There are a lot of reasons on my list of why this thing is working so well. But I think we've definitely shifted into a new phase of TexitCoin, which is consistent, good growth built through our referral, affiliate, non-network MLM, non-pyramid Ponzi scheme growth. And that's a really great thing. And it's because of, like I said, leadership from you guys. Reminder for you and a couple other you as well that I'm trying to bring you guys in here, see if I can get my new friends into this video together, and you're welcome to unmute yourselves. Reminder, number one, when you become a Texit Ranger, you're eligible and invited to upgrade to a builder plan if you don't already have one. And that gives you the ability to insert your 2 additional spots if you don't already have them all the way up underneath your initial position if you choose to put them there. And so if you missed out in the beginning on a builder plan, you didn't have the money or you didn't understand what it was or what kind of value it had, then this is an opportunity now to have a second shot at that. We give you 30 days from your knighting to make that decision if you want to come and join us. Again, if you don't already have that. And I don't know if you guys do, but I think Mike, you do. I think Terry does. I don't know, but we'll double check that. And again, extend that offer to you. The other thing is we have made a little teeny tiny modification to our rules to allow Texit Rangers to have a demo miner in hand. It's a really great and powerful tool when you're out doing events, to set up a machine on a countertop to say, this is it. This is a miner. This is a supercomputer that's processing 2,100,000. Is it 2,100,000? Is it 2.1? I don't know. It's a lot of transactions, these complicated math transactions per second in, second out. They're crunching these numbers, putting all this heat coming out of the back through the fans. They're taking these exotic math equations, they're burning energy, and they're turning that into a particular type of work that's very similar to like going into the gold mine with your pickaxe and bringing out shovels and pails full of dirty material that's got to be refined and turned into a physical coin. This is a very similar process, just inside of the digital realm. And so Texit Rangers are welcome to have an ASIC that you're able to set up at your shop, take out to show off at events with you, to help people understand exactly what crypto mining is. Like you said, one of the key elements of our project is that it's real. We're building a mine. We've got a long way to go. The mine is at 3.3% of its total sales. We're going to have another line item added to the first chart on our dashboard, which shows you our sold hash power, our purchased hash power, and our current hash power. So you can see how close we are. And as we're starting to narrow the gap between the purchased, the sold, and the installed, you can see those results. I just shared another image yesterday with our second BC40 shipping container that holds another 200 ASICs. And as those begin to get installed, that's when this thing really starts to become actually kind of easy. As the ASICs come in, that's pretty regular now. We place an order for those every Saturday night. We're going to start doing that order every Monday morning because we now have a finance team that is going to be doing that during normal business hours. But it's easy to buy it. It's pretty easy now to get it. And it's that immersion cooling infrastructure comes together for us to drop those things in. It's pretty easy to show the increase in the hash power. So Fast Eddie right now is down in Victoria, Texas, meeting with the power company down there, meeting with the vendors, getting our land set up so that we can easily drop that container in, plug it in, drop the ASICs in as they come in, and then that makes it so that we can just grow, add another container per month as the home miners are rolling out. In fact, tomorrow, guys, another big announcement, the mini Doge 3s are getting picked up. We've got 400 of them, and those run at 700 mega hash. And so if you're in Texas and you're not yet at that 2100 mega hash point, take a mini Doge 3 home if you're at 700 or above. And so the more of those we send out, the more decentralized we become, the more reliable our network becomes. Really, really great stuff to see that happening. So we want to get these things out there. We want to get them installed. We want to get them tuned up so that we can build a powerful network that the world, the Texas and Americans and the rest of the world are going to want to use and build on top of, which gives us really a lot of utility, as it's called in the cryptocurrency space. But the fact that we're doing it, the fact that it's real, the fact that you can touch it and hold it is really great. You know, like I was thinking, like, what's so revolutionary about TexitCoin? Why are we doing so well where everyone else before us has failed? Is it we've got superior technology? Not really. I mean, we're just a clone of Litecoin. Do we have, you know, like ASICs that work better than everybody else's ASICs? Well, we're using top of the line stuff, but we're just doing it. And it gives me great honor to spend our money like that. Like it's a lot of fun paying out commissions. I did it when we were sitting by the pool in Las Vegas. I remember paying out, what was it, $213,000. Click, click, click. Who wants to watch? It's so much fun to see a real world, instantaneous result from our work. You do the work and then we follow through. We do the work, we follow through. We do, and the more we do that, the more repetitive that process becomes, the more momentum this thing has, the more strength it has, the more people see that we're one of those rare guys out there that are actually doing what they said they were going to do. I had a guy stop by the office earlier today, dropped off $18,000 cash. And he's the neighbor, the next door neighbor of a guy that joined us back in April of last year. And he had an opportunity to get in April of last year, not just as a Founders Club person, but, you know, with $1,000. And today he dropped off $18,000 to pick up a 9-pack and also $9,000 worth of coins with that 10% bonus. And so, you know, I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, what a difference a year and a couple of months can make, right? You know, he's going to pick up over the next, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, maybe another 8, 9,000 coins on top of the 9, 10 that he got. He's going to have 20,000 coins. His neighbor's got 120,000 coins, and his neighbor's going to get a $3,000 commission off of this guy jumping on board today. So, you know, he could have done it. He wanted to do it. His family talked him out of it. And he said, okay, I won't do it. And he said, man, I've been kicking myself ever since. And now today I'm finally ready to bite the bullet and take the plunge. And now I'll bring them on board knowing that you guys actually followed through with what everything that you said you were going to do, you have done. Every goal that you said you hit, every performance metric, every price point we've accomplished. And it's only because our model's working, we're growing, and we're able to follow through. And that's really great. And so we can all thank each other for that. I'm just the guy that's lucky enough to click the button to actually send the payment off for the miners. I'm the guy that gets to click the button to pay the commissions when the commissions are due. So it's a real honor and a privilege for me to do that, but it's because of the work that we've done together that makes that possible every single time. And so that's really great. I really enjoy that. And again, I want to thank you guys and welcome our 4 newest Texit Rangers to the program. I don't know if you guys got time in September to join us for a trip to Thailand. Remember, September 16th is our target date for us to leave. You don't want to go out to Thailand and spend 2-3 days. It's not a quick weekend getaway. It's 24 plus hours to get there. You don't need any kind of shots or vaccinations. You can get some if you want, I guess. But it's a journey. And the thing that I like the most about this trip, I guess 2 things I'll tell you. Number 1 is you got to remember that the core of our project is to manufacture TexitCoin here in Texas and to export it and sell it to our friends on the other side of the world. Why? Because they love crypto, they love gambling, they've got trillions and trillions of dollars sitting around in warehouses that it's literally looking for a new home. They're looking for ways to get money out of China. That's a real problem for the wealthy Chinese. They're only allowed to take so much money out of the country due to the capital controls. And so they're looking for little places to stick cash where they have an upside opportunity so they can get some of their wealth out of the country. Terry, question about that? You look.
Yeah, you just gave me a great idea. The way that they export their money is via Macau. Why don't we put out a campaign in Macau? Actually, that's a great idea.
Macau, Hong Kong, Shanghai. I mean, the possibilities over there are many, and we're targeting those places along with Seoul, South Korea, and also Tokyo, Japan. You know, we've got a relationship with Clear Channel already. Clear Channel will take us into Times Square, New York, San Francisco, LA, the 3 major Asian populations here in the US. And then we'll take it over there. So it's an opportunity for you guys to get kind of a feeling for the culture that I got to learn so well for the 7 years that I lived over there in Asia. And that'll give you the opportunity to come up with ideas and marketing campaigns and specific ways for us to introduce our brand. They love Western culture over there. I mean, most Asians can name 2 US states, Texas and California, and that's it. And so this is an opportunity for us to go over there and share our message, share our brand, be ambassadors of our peace and prosperity mindset, and introduce our friends on the other side of the world to TexitCoin. So that's a really big thing. The other big thing about it is that it's so inexpensive in Thailand. You can just really relax. You know, when I lost everything, when I messed up in 2013, I lost it all. I went over there because I needed time. You know, if you're an entrepreneur and your wheels are spinning, and you're coming up with your next thing, you know, if rent's due and it's $1,700 a month and your car payment's due and your insurance is due, you got a clock, man. You're sitting there looking at the time you have left on your wrist and saying, man, I got to make a move fast. You don't have the ability to do what you want to do. You have to do what you need to do. And so, you know, some people start driving Ubers or start doing, you know, food delivery or whatever it is to make ends meet. And I went over to the other side of the world where I knew it was going to be very cheap to live, and that was going to give me the most time to let my brain do what it's good at, come up with good ideas, come up with website designs and, you know, business plans and sales strategies and all that stuff to put my world back together, which of course I did. And took me about a year to figure that all out. But man, a year in Thailand only costs, you know, 10 grand. It's $1,000 a month. You can live kind of like a king out there. And so, not that I want us to lose it all and have to go over there and sleep under a bridge, but I want us to go out there and see how far our money stretches. Like we went to Hawaii a couple of weeks ago. Man, that was not cheap. That was top dollar. And you know, you'll get a better experience in a service-oriented culture that wants to bow to you and make sure that that you're very happy and satisfied with your experience for 10 cents on the dollar. And so the only thing better than being crypto rich is being crypto rich in a place where your money goes 10 times as far. So if you've got time to join us in September to go out to Thailand, 16th to the 30th are the dates for Thailand. Now, there's also a Singapore connection on the tail end of that because there's a big conference in Singapore with Token 2049. I don't think we're going to be exhibiting there. I don't think we're going to be speaking there. I don't think we're going to be exhibiting there. It's not still too early, but I look at the prices of these things for these events and they're so out of line. It's like, oh, you want a 10 by 10 booth? It's $250,000. It's like, I just, oh, do we have the money? Yeah. Well, is it going to be well spent at a 10 by 10 booth for $250,000? No, there's much better places we can use that money today. Now next year, that might be a different story, but of course, it is a big event. I want you guys to see it. So we'll have a select group or the people that win the 30 sponsorships and the 100 direct referral points that will join us for that second part of the trip. So 2 weeks in Thailand and then another week in Singapore after that to catch Token 2049 and the Singapore F1 race and have a great time in the Emerald City, man. I mean, it's a cool place. I lived there for 3 years. It's clean. It is as safe as it gets. It's where the billionaires on planet Earth hang out, where they can keep their money safe and not have a fear or a worry in the world about protection, about any of that stuff. So it'll be a good thing for us to see that as well. So if you've got time in your calendar and you want to take a trip, please join me, my fellow Rangers, over there in Singapore and Thailand in September and October, and we'll have a great time together. Anything else you guys want to add before I say thank you and cut out to the Q&A portion of our evening?
I think we're good.
Well, you guys are all great. Thank you again. I really appreciate all the things that I've learned from you. Appreciate you sharing your experiences with us. And congratulations again on becoming ambassadors of our brand, and looking forward to you guys and your feedback and opinion on who the next batch of new Rangers will be for us sometime soon as well. Thanks, guys. All right.
Thank you.
As you know, we go through every single one of our questions in full detail. Let me see if I can switch our camera view over to this one. No. How do I switch it? View is up here. Okay. Speaker view. Dropping you guys. Remove. Sorry to kick you out here. Remove. I'm not kicking you out of the group. I'm just kicking you out here. And okay, so it's back to me. Hello, everybody. Thanks again for joining us on that little part of our program. Texit Rangers, again, there's nothing written in stone right now that's absolutely required I can tell you that Texit Rangers, we look first at cash potential. We look first and we see that there are similarities in the cash potential of the people that we are considering for Ranger status. And the reason we look at cash potential is because cash potential shows us not just that people are helping sponsor other people, but they're also helping those people develop teams as well. So if you've sponsored 30 people and your points are 30, that may mean that you're doing a good job on your direct sponsorships, but it means that they're not, those people you've directly sponsored aren't yet out there building and growing their teams as well. And so by looking at the cash potential and seeing cash potential exponentially rise because your team is doing well, that's a big thing that I look for initially right out of the gate to see, what, who should be considered next for Ranger status. So take a look at your cash potential. And I would say that the average right now cash potential of a Ranger is probably somewhere around $75,000. Let me see if I can double check that while we're on the call here, just to give you some exact specificity in that regard. But really, it's like I said, it's not about the numbers. It's about, are you doing a great job representing us? Are you working hard to help us build and grow? Are you supportive of your community and other members of our community as well? I mean, we've got people here in Dallas that open up their offices or their classrooms or their training rooms for other teams to use. There's no points in it for them. There's no upside in it for them, but they know as well as I know that if you're successful, we all succeed. It means that crowdfunding is working. It means that we've got more cash to put to work on our advertising and promotion, on our mind building, on all the things that help us get closer and closer to our goals more quickly. And so that's a really big thing. Helping other people on other teams is a really big deal. So having said that, let's jump into the Q&A. If you've got questions, pop them in down at the bottom and let's get started. Okay, anonymous attendee says, I assume TexitCoin isn't going to be sending out 1099s. How could I? I don't have your social security number. Have you consulted with a tax expert? No. Regarding if the U.S. government is likely to be okay with that. Look, guys, the tax thing is a question that you're going to have to find the answer to on your own. What I can tell you is that I don't think we've had the tax thing for unrealized capital gains. That's really good. New administration put a stop to that. But like, do you have crypto? Well, you've got a mining seat. Unless and until you take that mining seat in crypto and turn it into cash, I don't know what the tax obligation is. When I was young, tax was a thing and it's changed a lot over the years, but that's a question that you're really going to have to find the answer to on your own. I don't get into it. I'm not a tax advisor. This is not an investment. I'm not giving investment advice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do your own due diligence on that, come to a good conclusion that works well for you, and then comply with the rules as you understand them. Anonymous attendee says, I don't really understand the blockchain yet. Why do the naysayers say we're only self-reporting and therefore the data is potentially unreliable? I'm not sure if self-reporting is the right word for it. So blockchain trades efficiency for redundancy. All right. In a traditional mainframe computer database, you've got one big supercomputer and it's got all the information. And whoever's got control of that supercomputer is able to go into the database and the information and edit it any way they like. With blockchain, what we do is we scatter that information around the network. You've got some of the information, you've got some of the information, you've got some of the information. And what that does is it makes it so that there's no one place where you can actually edit the information to change, data. And so in a public blockchain like Bitcoin, it's all but impossible for you to do what's called a 51% attack. That's where you put bad information in and then you control the majority of the mining supercomputers. And so you're able to kind of manipulate that data. And so the difference between TexitCoin and Bitcoin and some of the other bigger blockchains out there is that we have what's called a permissioned blockchain where you cannot just jump in and start mining us without permission, which means you paid the fee, you followed the rules, you get in and you participate like everybody else. We have that rule today, and we're expecting to keep that rule for a while and or forever. because it keeps the banks and the foreign nations and the billionaires from coming along and buying up all of our hash power, taking control of the network and putting us in a position where they can rewrite the rules. And so what we have is a very simple system of governance rules, and that governs our system. And so the naysayers will say, well, you really can't trust a permission blockchain. It's not big enough and decentralized enough to make sure that not any one guy has his finger on the button to change and wipe out everybody's balances. And that's true to a certain extent. And so really the question is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer a big and permissionless blockchain that's primarily driven now by China? Or would you prefer a smaller blockchain that's permissioned, that is controlled by a community of people that really have a commitment to the ideals of honest money? You know, take a look at my track record, take a look at the things that have been important to me for the years, over the years, and decide which one of those is more likely to result in an open and honest system. The permissionless one that's gigantic, but controlled now today by the big banks, the big money, or the smaller one that's permissioned, that's controlled by people that have a passion for honest money. That's the question. And that's the way that you would address that objection with the naysayers. Again, there's a balance there. You know, you have to decide which one you think is going to result in the most likely currency that that is going to serve your goals and your purpose. And remember, we're not intending to be small for long. We're small today at 3.5% of our target hash power, but that won't always be the case. What we don't know today is whether or not we'll always be permissioned. I think we will. I don't think there's anything wrong with a permission blockchain as long as everyone knows what the rules are that govern the permissioned system. So we'll see how it goes. Congrats, Ed. I have a question. Tell us what the question is, Broccoli. Hence the reason your hand keeps going up. But please type it in here, Brock, so I can read it and address it. Congrats, Mike and Terry. Bobby Gray, I have a big question. Well, let's hear it, Brock. Write it down. Dan says maybe Mike may be will in to help us newbies. Mike has put some great materials together. David says, I have someone wanting to buy a 9-pack. He has money in a Robinhood account. Can he pay for the miners through that? I don't know. I don't think Robinhood gives you the ability to send USDC or USDT. I think Robinhood gives you the ability to send Bitcoin. Correct me if I'm wrong. We do take Bitcoin. We just don't take it through the front door or through the back door. So you got to arrange with one of our peers or a ranger or somebody at the office like Steve or Ruben to send over your Bitcoin to pay for that 9-pack. So it can be done. It's just not automated like our other systems are. Anonymous attendee says, what is it like getting arrested for the purchase of alcohol by a minor on April 23rd, 2000? It was great. Thank you. Congrats to Angie Rash too for making Texit Rangers. She was with us in Hawaii. Yes, Angie is also a ranger. Thank you. Boss Baby says, you ever buy alcohol underage? Yes, I have. Is this community video? Tell show new people, 25 minutes, no info stated, about to leave. Not sure what that is. I have new people on the call that need to know about the project, what it is and why you created it. There's a great 17 or so minute long video on the TexitCoin page that is under the tab, the case for TexitCoin. Check that out, and it should give you all the information that you need to know. Okay. Where do I see TexitCoin in 5 years? I see TexitCoin. Well, I see myself on the back of a boat somewhere. This calls a waste of my precious time. This is all about recruitment of new money, lots of hype, very much like an MLM. It is kind of like an MLM. Thank you very much. Please send one home with Eddie. Yes, I will. Except Eddie's down in, what do you call it? He's down in Victoria. I'm not sure if he's coming through Dallas. Is the Thailand trip 2025, 2026? It is 2025. I would like to know more. What is the cost, etc.? Stephanie says, if we start with one miner, how many more can we add? You can add up to a total of 9. So if you start with 1, you're welcome to come back and pick up an additional 8. But remember, there's no limit to the number that you can earn. Stephanie is also back to saying, how many coins do miners produce on average daily? I think it's about 3 right now per seat. So if you have 1 seat, it's about 3 coins a day. Sandy says, I live 45 minutes south of Dallas, between Dallas and Waco. Where and when can I find my local meetings? That's a really great question. I would say that the best chance you have is our friends in the Waxahachie and Cedar Hill area. Check in with Rob Reynolds and with Jonathan down there at the Tuscan Slice. Amy says, is there a one-stop shop to learn as a new miner knowing nothing about this? I'm overwhelmed with Telegram and all the different tabs. I see there are many people constantly sending out PDFs, Zoom replays, but it feels like by the time I scroll through everything, I don't know how to organize all of this information and where to start. Help, LOL. Well, here's the deal, Amy. Once you join and you put your money in, there's nothing left to do if you don't want to, right? All you have to do is keep your coins safe. You have to watch my back and you have to hold me accountable. That's really all you have to do. If you want to get more involved, you want to help us grow, or you want to get involved in the trading and the monetization of it, then my suggestion would be to go to the help desk where we've got a bunch of links on the page that is entitled Start Here. And so if you go to help.mindtxt.com, you'll see kind of the flow chart of, okay, you start here, you get your coin, set up a DexTrade account, set up the TXC wallet, move some currency over to DexTrade, set up your sale orders, set up your Coinbase account, so on and so forth. And that should give you some good direction on how to get a little bit further into things once you get your coin and keep it safe. Louise says, what currency can you receive? Can a builder mine purchased from a British bank with pound sterling? We only take crypto. We only take crypto. So the key is to get your pound sterling converted over to crypto before you're able to sign up. I'm in Italy, 15 miles south of Waxahachie. Okay, so Waxahachie is pretty close. Why do I say I'm not giving investment advice when this is an investment with our money? This is not an investment. You can think of this more like a donation. It's not a company. I'm not a investment advisor. This is kind of more like gambling. And so if you're comfortable taking that risk, then we encourage you to jump in. If you're not comfortable with, unaccredited investments, then this is definitely not for you. Okay. You mentioned selling coin to others overseas, if I understand, but I thought one thing Texas says is we don't want large corporations or a lot of foreign entities for mining. Remember, we're building the mine here in Texas. The Texas mine is for Texans first, for Americans second, and for 10% maximum international participation. Today, I think we're about at 5% international participation in the mining. As far as the digital asset is concerned, that's able to go anywhere and everywhere. We want to see it traded. We want to see it spent. We want to see it accepted. We want to see it used all over the planet. And we're definitely expecting a lot of that interest from the speculative side to come from our friends in Asia. Hopefully that helps. Anonymous attendees, no concern about no 1099s, more related to paying commissions, not the mining. Traditional MLMs are required to send them out when paying commissions over the same amount of money. So how can we skip that? That's a great question. I don't know what the rules are for traditional MLMs. I know that a lot of that stems from them being kind of registered companies, incs and corporations and all that stuff. Nobody's told me from any kind of authority perspective that I need to be collecting social security numbers, which I wouldn't do anyway, or sending out 1099s. So, Bobby, great call, but I now have a question. What are the safeguards in place should anything happen to you? Well, let's hope nothing happens to me first and foremost. We talk about this actually quite a bit, and it's very flattering. Thank you very much. But it's unfortunately today too new for us to really have a safeguard in place, primarily because of the fact that TexitCoin is being driven largely by my story, my background, my experience in the realm of cryptocurrency, my experience in the realm of honest money with the American Open Currency Standard and all those things. And so if anything happened to me today, it would be very, very difficult for somebody to step into my shoes and pick up where I left off. There are really like 2 or 3 things that could happen. One is I get hit by a meteor and I'm gone. In that case, it would be, I think, possible for somebody, maybe my wife or one of our Lone Star Rangers, to pick up and continue on with what we're doing. It's pretty simple administratively. If I was to get arrested or go to jail for something, I think that a lot of people would look at it and say, well, that was kind of dumb what he was doing. And obviously he was going to get in trouble for it. And there's no way anyone's going to fill those shoes, blah, 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 blah. And so there would be a challenge there. The third thing is I give up. And that is unlikely to happen because I'm not a quitter. Even with the people asking me what it was like to get arrested for selling or buying alcohol when I was 20 years old. The trolls. Welcome, trolls. Welcome. iPhone 2 says, Florida people, there's a Texit intro dinner at Red Lobster Monday night in Ocala. at 7:30. Bring your prospects. Yes. Check the TexitCoin calendar as well. There are lots of events happening all over the Metroplex, and all over the country as well. So keep an eye out for new events. Joshua says, will there be a section of the dashboard where we can sell our Texit in an OTC type transaction? Probably not. Probably not, Joshua. And the reason for that is because we're not an exchange, and we don't want to be an exchange, right? As soon as we become an exchange, now we've got money transfer, licensing to worry about. When we're buying and selling, that's when we become an exchange. Right now, we're only selling. It only goes one way. If you want to sell, there are many places where you can actually do that. You can have a private sale. You can go on a Dex Trade. You can go on Bitmart. So it's easy to sell once you know how to sell. But the point is that we're not the buyer. We're not the buyer right there in an open market. Where is the TexitCoin calendar, says anonymous attendee. You can check that out at texitcoin.org. Mouse over the About button and go down to Events, and that's where you can find it. All right, that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's little introduction. Welcome and congratulations to our Texit Rangers. Thanks so much for being here and being a part of our program. Again, we're always on the lookout for new Rangers who are eager to step up and help us build this thing, help us get to our goals and do a great job and have a lot of fun with us along the way. So Bobby Gray here, founder and fearless leader of TexitCoin. Thanks for joining. Have a great weekend. Remember, we've got lots of events going on next week. We've got the Solar Car Challenge on Friday morning for the media day. We've got the baseball game on Friday night with the fireworks for our TexitCoin Miner Appreciation Night. And then the Solar Car Challenge race on Sunday. I think it's on Sunday. And many, many other things happening all over. Check the calendar, stay in touch, participate in the discussion on the Telegram group, and we will catch you guys again sometime soon. All right, I'm Bobby Gray. Have a good night. We'll talk again.